Ladies and gentlemen and children of all ages, the plays of the thing with your host, Judy Sleed. Special guest, Devon Lever, Owen Laub, Keaton Laub, and Bo Parsons. Underwriters, Taylor Cohen, Michael Kniggin, Irv Ackerman, dear friend, Robert Frasa for Ashokan Talent. Now here's Judy.
Thank you, Lee. And this is my show that plays the thing. And today I have some wonderful, wonderful guests, some young people from school, and my dear friend, Bo Parsons. They are all here to help me out with the play reading. Devon, how are you? So glad you could come. And Owen, say hello.
Hi.
To me, you could say hello. Keaton, how are you?
Good.
And Bo.
Hi, Judy.
Well, thank you so much for coming. This is a special occasion. These youngsters are future stars, I'm sure. Just look for them in a few years on Broadway. I'm sure they're going to make it. A little while ago, we had a play reading at Guildhall. That's our local theater. And we did this over there. So now I invited all the players to read it again. This is about an excerpt from my life story. And this is part of my life story. When I came to this country from Europe, everyone asked me how I survived World War II. And ever since then, I tried to write my story. And through the years, I started over and over again and just couldn't find the right thread. And because I was writing it as a novel, but anyway, this is finally, I did it in a play form, and this way it was much easier to do it.
It is October 1945 in Budapest, Hungary, in the late evening. 14-year-old Judy is sitting at the kitchen table while the rest of the children are asleep. A small lamp is reflecting on her as she is writing in a notebook. On a wall in the background, a big sign is visible. Déli Bab Utca is a street's name in Budapest, Hungary. The building was originally designed for a nursery school. Now it is a makeshift shelter for children, mostly orphaned, to wait for a transport towards Israel. The entire company is led by able young adults, part of the Zionist organization's Youth Aliyah. A kindly matron who had a job as a cook when it was still the nursery added a motherly touch for the youngsters. Yadit is deeply in thought, flicking her pencil around her fingers, thinking out loud as she is writing in her diary. She is trying to find the right words to express her feelings for the object of her affections. She fell in love with Rafe, who is the shliach for the Aliyah. Aliyah is the movement for the Jewish people to return to their homeland, Eretz Israel. I will gather them to their own land, not leaving any behind. Ezekiel 39:28. The trip was illegal, had many stops in different locations throughout the continent, and it had to be carefully planned. Rafe made the trip several times very successfully. Rafi, 17, appears in the doorway, spots Judith, and tips a chair, flipping it around. He straddles it, arms on the back of the chair.
I couldn't sleep either.
Why not?
I was thinking about our dance this afternoon. You didn't think I'd do that. Choose you in front of everybody. Your face got red and I felt your hands trembling.
You're imagining things.
If you only knew what I was dreaming.
You didn't look asleep. You looked quite alive and alert to me.
No, dreaming. I mean dreaming in my sleep.
Don't laugh at me. Just because I told you that you remind me of my brother, it...
Okay, I'll never laugh at you again. Will you forgive me?
There you go again.
Oh, lighten up. You better get used to me. We'll be married soon.
You crazy or something? I'm only 14 and you don't even have a job.
I was saying sooner or later, not soon. Nevertheless, don't worry. I'll wait until you're grown up.
You're always joking. With all that would happen to us, how can you think of anything else?
Would you feel better if I went around with a sad face all the time? Aren't you tired of people telling you smile? It's time you lighten up a little.
It's hard for me to feel easy. I can't stop thinking about them. Every time Eva comes, when she comes, I always hope she comes with some good news about them.
So there is still some hope. At least you have that.
It's easy for you. You know where your parents are, and sisters. I'm sorry. I'm glad you all survived the war. I really am very happy for you. I wish my mother hadn't been so honest and...
Let's talk about my dream about you. It was so beautiful. After we finished the square dance, I heard waltz music. And I started to waltz with you all around the circle of kids. And then, all of a sudden, we were dancing in the clouds. The music was playing, and we just kept on dancing and dancing all around and around. Faster and faster. Your skirt was flowing with each turn.
You must have seen that movie with Sardi Janos. There's a scene when he sings that song, The Dream Waltz. That was my favorite. I saw that picture with my mother. You see, the movie house is just across the street where we live. All we have to do is cross the tracks. You see, we live in this big house.
So what about the movie? Or you'd rather show me what you've written?
Whoever said I'd show you what I'd written? I don't even remember discussing it.
Then what about the movie? I've never seen it.
Just as well. I don't think you'd like it. Very romantic.
Huh, listen to her. But what makes you think I don't like romantic movies, little girl?
Rafi, you're beginning to aggravate me. Go back to sleep. You need to dream some more.
Look over there. What are you always writing?
Now look what you did. I told you not to be so loud. You woke up Asher.
Is it time to go now?
Where are we going?
You know, on the trip, the Aliyah, across the border. Raffi told me all about it. Crossing the Alps where there's snow on top and grass on below. I know I could do it without slipping. Watching the guards all the way down there. I can't wait to fool them. Do you think they'd hear me when I laugh?
Oh no, you'd be so far away from them. You can laugh all you want.
Seems like Rafi told you a lot about the Aliyah.
Can't wait to get started. So many different stops, so many different ways to get there. Trains, trucks, buses, on foot. I could just see when the side of the truck fell out with all the bags and food and children fall to the floor.
That's funny. When the children got hurt?
It happened, and no one got hurt.
What else did you tell him? You sure sound like it's a lot of fun, so everybody will want to go.
We sure do. Everyone I talk to wants to go. Don't you?
How come you're up so late?
Levi was snoring very loud. I tried everything to quench the noise. I kept putting pillows against his nose. I kept nudging him, and I even woke him up, but he just keeps snoring.
See, I didn't wake him up. Levi's snoring woke him up. Right, Asher?
I didn't hear you talking. I just saw the light and I came here. I'm happy you're here. I'm afraid of the dark.
You sure you're not sleepwalking?
No, you silly.
Are you hungry or thirsty? You want some milk and biscuits?
Nah.
The three of them look at the door and slowly opens. When the figure appears, they whisper,
Aunt
Mimi.
Mimi.
And what's going on around here?
I just came here to be alone, collecting my thoughts, then...
I just happened to come by, and I saw the light, so I looked in, and there she was.
Levi's snoring again. I can't sleep.
And that calls for a party?
We were just talking. About the Aliyah. Aunt Mimi, are you coming with us?
How can I? Who's going to feed the next group, huh? After you leave?
But Aunt Mimi, who's going to cook for us? Aren't you going to miss us? When will you come?
Oh, those are just too many questions for me to answer right now. Let's sleep on it and we'll talk tomorrow. How's about you sleeping in my room tonight until we figure out what to do about that snoring creature? And I don't think that Rafi would mind giving you a piggyback ride.
Yippee!
So, tell me about it, Judith.
About what?
Oh, come on. I know you're crazy about him.
Well, I hope he... How did you know?
I can tell. I've been watching you. I'm wise like an owl.
I just came here putting my thoughts down on paper. I didn't expect for him to come here too.
Just be careful.
Of what?
He's much older than you are.
I know. I'm not going to do anything.
I'm not worried about you.
I just want a little piece of him.
What? What? A piece of what?
A piece of his heart.
Oh, my sweet girl, my sweet, sweet girl.
Were you talking about me? If you were, I hope it was something good.
Come, you irresistible scoundrel. I want you to do something for me and let this budding author work on her novel. What's on your mind?
My intentions are honorable. I'm trying to convince her to join the Aliyah.
Why is that so important to you?
I like her. I really do.
Rafi, she's only 14.
I know that. It's a nice age. You do remember being 14, Aunt Mimi.
Rafi, did you straighten out your affairs here at home? You know, you're not coming back, not for a long time anyhow.
I know. I'm leaving a clean slate. I'm a reformed man.
Rafi, you're a good boy. You have a great future ahead of you. Don't waste it on foolishness. Did you come clean in front of your parents?
My sister Julie knows everything.
Just think of me every time you have naughty thoughts. You hear me?
How can I help not to? You're into everything I do, even my thoughts.
Just remember that, and also that I love you. Don't stay up too long.
Rafi goes back in the kitchen, where Judith is gathering her notebook and pencil, and stands up.
You're leaving?
I guess.
I want to say goodbye.
Why?
I'm leaving tomorrow. I need to check out some things before I take the group. I'd like you to visit my mother while I'm gone. She's been asking to meet you.
What's the matter?
What do you mean?
Something's wrong.
Nothing is wrong.
I can feel that something is wrong. I'm afraid something is going to happen to you.
Like what?
You said that you have some problems, that you have to fix it. It could be dangerous if the Germans catch you.
The war is over. There's no more Gestapo.
Then you said you wanted me to visit with your mother in place of you?
Stop it. You have to stop this. I want you to wear this ring.
Julie gave that to you. She wanted you to have it.
From the darkness there appeared a dim light, and that dim light just began to glow. And that glow led us to the sunlight, and the world felt just like long ago. Yes, we won't forget the madness that rushed o'er us like a tidal wave, but we will not wallow in the sadness. We will build our hopes upon their grave. Yiskadal, where are you, God? Vo Yiskadash, give me a nod. So hard to keep the faith, it sank so deep. We survived. It must be a reason. Have you chosen us to carry on, even though our faith had nearly broken? But their lives are here within our hearts. Yet we won't forget the mayhem that rushed over us like a tidal wave, but we'll show the world about their teachings. A shrine will blaze upon their grave.
Every time I hear that song, I think of you.
This will also remind you of me.
He places the ring on her finger, then starts to walk away.
Shalom.
Shalom.
He suddenly turns and comes back. He embraces her and kisses her on the mouth, releases her and sighs.
Someday I'll teach you how to kiss.
She watches him leave, then in a pleading voice,
They will come back. Won't they?
And that's the end.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. You did a good job. Excuse me. Allergies. Wonderful. You even attempted to sing the song. I have to say that the song itself has a beautiful melody. So we still have some time. So Devon, tell me a little bit. Are you a local?
Yeah, I am. I've been living out here ever since I was born.
Wow, and that must have been a long time ago.
Not really, 14 years ago.
Yes, and you go to school?
I go to the Ross School.
Yes, what grade are you in?
I'm going into 9th grade.
Uh-huh. What's your favorite subject?
Well, that's kind of hard because I really love a lot of subjects in my school, but I'd have to say art.
So where are you going to be when you grow up?
I have no idea.
Oh.
Well, I love to do so many things, so.
Well, that's good. You are very diversified, and it'll come as you get older. So, Owen, and are you local also? Yeah. You are homegrown.
Yeah.
East Hampton.
Actually, Southampton in Watermill. Well, I was born in the city, but we moved out when I was 2, I guess, and so we've been in Watermill for.
And you still live in Watermill now?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I see. And what grade are you in school?
Next year, I'll be in 9th grade.
Next year?
Mm-hmm.
You go
In
to
September,
school in
yeah.
Watermill?
In Southampton High School next year.
Oh yeah, I don't think there is a school in Watermill
No, not
except
really.
an elementary school. That little red house. No, that's in Wainscott. Excuse me. I'm a little bit. So many little towns here in the Hamptons. By the way, this is the show, The Plays, The Thing, and I'm talking to Levin, Owen, Keaton, and Bo. So Keaton, you must be, since you are brothers, right? So you are also homegrown.
Yeah.
And what grade are you in?
Next year I'll be in the 6th grade.
And what's your favorite subject?
I don't really have a favorite.
You don't. So you like are you good at everything? When you say you're a good student?
Kind of, yeah.
Kind of. And did you think about what you want to do when you grow up?
I don't know.
You don't want to be a farmer? Oh, and I forgot to ask you, what's your favorite subject?
I don't know. English was good.
English? And
English
have you
is good.
thought about what you want to do in your later years?
You mean like after college? Yeah.
Yeah. You going to make it to college?
I hope.
Well-
I want to be the president.
Of the United States? Wow, those are big dreams. It's
Yep.
possible. It is. I'll vote for you, I promise. And Bo, are you homegrown?
Actually, I was born in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Lived in Tennessee, Delaware, Connecticut for my elementary and high school days. And then I've always had a connection out here. I had a great aunt who lived out here. I used to come out here in the summer every year since I was a very young boy. And I've owned a house out here since about 1988, my own house. So I'm very familiar with the whole area.
And you're living in that house now?
Yes.
I see. And have you decided what you're going to do when you grow up?
Well, for 30 years I had a business in the city, and I sold it. So I guess you could say I'm semi-retired at this point. I do some work. It was a food business, so I still do some catering work and some baking things.
I think I
but
tasted some of your cakes.
yeah,
You're a very good baker.
thank you.
And have you thought about doing acting?
Never.
Never. So I just pegged you. And Devon, so how did you feel about the three of you? How did you feel, or four of you, about this reading this play? Have you done acting before
Yeah.
in school?
Some, yeah.
Yeah, I've done a lot of school musicals at my school, and I've done some stuff at Guildhall, like mostly readings. So, but usually I kind of get nervous for everything I do, so.
And Owen?
I've done 2 readings at Guildhall. This was one of them. And I've done a few school plays and with stages.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, at the Bay Street Theater. I've done a few of those and a little of this and that, yeah.
Keaton?
I've done this, the reading, and I think this is pretty much the only thing yet.
So how do you feel about this play itself?
I feel pretty good.
Yes, and what about you two? How did you feel about reading this? Is it something that you felt, you understood what you were doing?
Yeah, usually I'm not too good at sort of deciphering the meaning of plays, but this one was actually pretty easy for me to understand. So
Good.
I liked it in that respect.
Good, because I had to really chew it down to 10 minutes, as you know, so there's a lot more to it, but this was just... this is the first time you did this, Bo. Did you understand what you were doing?
Oh yeah, I understand what I'm doing. I have a lot
I
of
understand what I'm saying.
I have a lot of questions about the play and where they're going and how dangerous it is, and I don't really understand. I don't know this piece of history that well, so it's I have a lot of kind of questions about it.
Oh, so what it means to me, which is good, that you would like to know more about it. You'd like to know
Yeah.
what happens after or what happened before. Yeah, well, I promised, I don't know, a lot of people that I will finish this. But when I'll finish, I don't know. I will do it, and then we'll do the whole play. How do you feel about doing a whole, memorizing lines? This was only a reading. Can you memorize lines?
I think if we had a longer time, probably.
Yeah, stages, I've seen several of their productions. It's great. You have a lot of lines there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can pretty much memorize lines pretty well,
Yeah.
even if it's on short notice. 'Cause,
Oh, wow,
yeah.
that's great. You too, Keaton?
Kind of.
Kind of. Bo?
Doubt it.
And you know what? I can't memorize lines either. It baffles me how everybody, just like you said, short notice, you just memorize. And people who do Shakespeare,
Oh yeah.
all those lines. Oh, and what is amazing is not only you read the lines, but the expression and everything. One would think that you just do it by rote. You don't know what you're saying.
Yeah, like we put on some Shakespeare plays in my school, and we were all assigned parts, and we had to memorize the lines given to us, but we couldn't just memorize them how they were. We had to know what we were saying, and we broke down every single line. And so we understood everything, which I thought was very helpful in the memorization process.
Do you know, you probably know Mr. Doyle.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to meet with him sometime soon, and I'm giving him a musical that I had written. So I think you would be perfect for the leading. It's a young girl, And then you could, actually the three of you would be perfect, because there's a young lady in it, and a young man, and a little brother.
It's not a musical of this, is it?
What?
It's not a musical of your escape from Hungary, is it?
No. Actually, this is about Hungarian people, but it's like in the early 1900s, so it's a period piece. But yeah, there's a lot of Hungarian words and things in it, but it's a musical, and the music is really great, catchy tunes. Well, I want to thank all of you to come. I really would have liked to talk more about you, with you, but time doesn't allow it. So I just want to thank Devon, Owen, Keaton, and Bo. I mean, this is remarkable. I remember your names. And these are not everyday names. These are really very unusual names. And I would like to thank the crew. I have 2 new camera people here, and LTV, and just let's wave goodbye, everybody.
Which
like
camera?
that.
Which camera?
Bye, the middle one, number
Middle
2
one.
camera. And tune in, stay tuned, for the station has wonderful stories, programs, wonderful programs.